Pick it up a little bit for me, Jim. You know, this little room right here is where all the magic happens at. I really believe the stars will be made in this room.
This is Angelique Bergeron with the West Baton Rouge Museum, and welcome to Henry Turner's Listening Room.
Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge. It is the capital city that nobody can refuse. We're on location out at the West Baton Rouge Museum, and we've got Andre in front of us. We got a day at the museum for Henry's Listening Room. And we're going to try to get some information and get a real vibe on what's happening over here. So, Andre, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
All right. Pleasure for you to be on the show too, man. You know, this is a familiar haunt for me, so this is like an extreme great opportunity, you know, for me to get a chance to go beneath the surface a little bit and kind of feel out what's going on. Now, I know you're the pretty much the tour educator, right? And so tell me exactly what your job is, what you do. What do you do for them?
Well, I do several things here at the museum. I'll do tours with anybody that comes by. I do the school tours, so if we have school field trips, you know, I'll run those. I do most of the music programs here at the museum and all of our French programming.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how many programs do you have that kind of roll through the juke joint in the museum and stuff?
Well, in the juke joint we have quite a few things. So this is an exhibit about blues music, but it's also a musical venue. So we have concerts here, as you well know.
Of course.
We have the Blues After School program, which you're familiar with, and that's a free program we have at the museum for middle school students who are interested in learning the blues music. So it's every Friday of the month during the school year. And they come to the museum, specifically to the juke joint, so that they can learn this music from two musical teachers that we hire. Mm-hmm. We also have special musical guests, and you've been one of them in the past, so you're very familiar with that. Yeah, the Blues After School program, we supply these students with musical instruction, all the equipment that they could possibly need for free. And they kind of focus on West Baton Rouge musicians and West Baton Rouge songs.
Awesome.
But we have some more open musical events too. We have the Old Time Jam, which is the second Sunday of every month, and that's an open jam, meaning community members can come in to play music. They don't have to be professional. It's not a band or a concert. It's kind of open to anyone who wants to join in. And that's mostly old honky-tonk music, bluegrass, folk, that kind of thing. We also have the Cajun Jam, same idea, but specifically Louisiana music. That's on the third Sunday of every month. So that's a lot of the Louisiana French songs, traditional music from the area, mostly in French, you know. As far as concerts go, we get all kind of music in here. A lot of it is blues music. Some of it could be country music, rock and roll, soul, Cajun music, all kind of stuff.
So you're basically just focused on the culture of the west side of the river.
That's definitely our focus. We're open to music from all over Louisiana, all over the South, but we do try and bring it back home, for sure. Awesome.
So I noticed from one of my previous experiences with interacting with the museum, Slim Harpo is sort of like a big name and a staple with this museum. Tell me why.
Well, I would say he's one of the most well-known musicians from the area. Folks come to the museum specifically to hear about him. So, as you know, he was born and raised in the Mulata Bend area and is buried there in the Mulata Bend Cemetery.
Right.
So we will have visitors from out of state come pretty often trying to find his grave.
Of course.
So, you know, his grave has been sort of turned into a monument to the blues music. People will come to visit, and the tradition is they leave a harmonica on his tomb.
Wow.
So if you go there, you can see all these offerings people have left to his musical legacy. So folks, do come to the museum trying to find his grave, and I've directed many folks over there. There's a historical marker there now, which I believe was put up in part by the museum.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions, because I know there's a program that's going through the state about historical markers.
Oh yeah, so there's one now marking the Mulata Bend Cemetery as a historic cemetery and as the resting place of Slim Harpo. And of course, anyone who comes through here for a tour, we talk about Slim Harpo. People love his music.
Absolutely.
They know his songs and they want to hear about his life. So we have memorabilia all up in here about his musical legacy.
So has anybody done a film about Slim Harpo and put it in here yet?
I don't know if anyone has done a full-length documentary. The curators might know more about that. I know folks have filmed clips, short clips about his life. Recently, Gibson created a guitar based on the guitar he played, the Lavelle, named after his wife. So some folks came from Gibson about a year ago to film a little promotional spot for this Slim Harpo guitar that they're creating. That was pretty fun. They set the juke joint up how they wanted it. They took a bunch of pictures of this model of guitar and kind of made it a promotional thing. That was a really interesting tie-in. We enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I met those guys. They came by my listening room.
Okay, because they asked where to go, and I sent them your way.
Yeah, they were looking, man, and they had some interesting things to say. I took them to where he used to live on North 36.
Very nice.
And they were able to see the house, the last house that he lived in.
Wow. So forth. And did you get a chance to play this guitar that they made, this replica?
Not really. I looked at it and stuff, checked it out, but I didn't get a chance to really play it. And they basically said it would be available. They were going to make sure that they had some in a museum or two around this area.
Yeah.
And then also in a couple music stores.
Nice.
Shortly. So.
Well, we're hoping they send us one.
Oh, I'm sure you guys will have one. Yeah, because they want to put it in some museums and stuff around. But that's really cool, man. So, insightfully, that's a great aspect, to having someone like, the West Baton Rouge Museum in your corner on this side for the musicians and whatever have you. Now, I know that it goes a lot deeper than just the musicians on the West Side. And this juke joint, for example, I was looking at it. What was this originally? Was it built to be a juke joint, or was it moved from someplace? Or
no, it wasn't historically a juke joint. It is a historic building. So it was purchased in the late 1940s as a prefabricated building. In which they would mail you the parts of the building and you'd assemble it yourself. So it was purchased to be a Boy Scout meeting hall, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, in the late 40s, and they sent the building here in the mail on a train car.
Of course. And
put it together just across the street. So it was moved here, but it was not moved very far. Just from the other block. But I believe it was Kenny Neal's idea to turn this place into a juke joint. To make the blues, a permanent part of our exhibit here. And I think it was brilliant, because even though it wasn't historically a juke joint, it is a historic building. And now that we've got all this memorabilia and all these artifacts, it really has the atmosphere.
Well, I played many juke joints when I was growing up. Trust me, it feels like a juke joint. Down to the tin roof, and the little small windows on the side, the whole nine. It was exactly where the juke joint was, and but this floor is pretty. This is almost too level for a juke joint. Juke joint, you normally walked in and it was slanted one way or the other, and you had a couple loose floorboards and stuff like that, and you saw some critters and different stuff from time to time. It was. I remember performing in here one time for your Sugar Fest, and it was a virtual performance. Yeah. And there was a squirrel that leap from the ceiling onto the floor.
Yeah,
I said, now this is a real juke joint. This is that's the kind of stuff that used to happen to you in the juke joint.
Yeah, well, I was standing on the porch when all that was going on, so I was witness to the squirrel incident.
I mean, I remember playing a juke joint in Jackson, Mississippi. Louisiana. It was a place called the Sticks, and I remember walking into the juke joint. I was a teenager, and I stepped onto the back steps of the juke joint to go in, and about 2 feet away, that was a snake. You know, snakes just kind of stretched out, just laying there, like not trying to bite anybody, just he had a little blues. You know? Just kind of laid out. I was like, I told the guy, I said, "Man, there's a snake outside." He said, "Yeah, he's out there all the time."
Yeah, well, this squirrel kind of lives in the juke joint. His name is Slim. Actually.
Okay. Good stuff, man. I guess for the most part, you've given me a good overview of the types of programs that you do, the types of things that you want to, embrace with the juke joint. Now, I know there's a lot of children coming through this blues program you have, and how's the progress of that? I mean, are they able to get out and perform anywhere?
Oh, absolutely.
Are they getting to that point where are you seeing some serious rewards and
watching
them flourish and just kind of grow into some budding musicians? Or?
Absolutely. A couple of the kids in this Blues After School program came in with a little musical background. Some of them came in not really knowing anything about music, but they have turned into a band.
Awesome.
I mean, they play as a unit. They sound good. They've played a lot of shows here at the museum.
Nice.
In fact, we have them open up for any of the big performances we have.
I saw them last year.
Yeah, I know you have. Yeah, so they'll open for Kenny Neal or Chris Thomas King, whoever we have coming in. They'll play in a little opening show for the community members. Yeah, they've made a lot of musical progress. They've written songs, they've mastered their instruments, they've learned how to use their voices, and developed into a cohesive group. I'll tell you what, it's really impressive to watch them.
So, one final thing, if people wanted to find out about the juke joint, if they wanted to kind of follow some of these programs or see some of these performances on the kids, how do they find it?
Well, we're all over social media. You can find out information about us on Facebook, on our museum website. We have a YouTube chain, so a lot of the blues music that gets performed at the museum is on our YouTube channel. And I mean, I guess the best way is just to come down and see it for yourself, though. You can look at the juke joint in photographs, you can look at it in videos, but it's not the same as being in here. It's got an atmosphere.
Yeah. All right, so hours of operation for the juke joint. How does that work? Oh,
the juke joint's open as part of the guided tour during the hours that the museum is open. So that's from 10 to 4:30, Tuesday to Saturday, and on Sundays from 2 to 5. So we're open. It's part of the walk-in tour. You don't need to reserve a tour unless it's a larger group. If you just got a few folks, you can walk in, and the tour begins when you come through the front door.
So as a part of that question, let's say somebody wanted to rent the juke joint to do a concert or something, or they wanted to do a lecture demonstration or something in the juke joint. They can do that?
Yes, we offer rentals at the museum as part of being a museum friend. So if you join the organization, Friends of the Museum, that comes along with, I believe, 2 rentals per year.
Oh, okay.
You can rent the inside spaces of the museum, but the juke joint's also available. Yeah.
Awesome. Andre, thank you.
Yeah, thank
you very
much.
Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge. It is the capital city that nobody can refuse.
Hi, this is Tanya Winden, and I'm with the West Baton Rouge Museum, and I'm here with Henry Turner Jr. Thanks for joining us at the Listening Room. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is My Dog Jack Productions. I'm Kim, this is Boo, and this is a word from the editor. We hope that you're enjoying the show. We sure are enjoying making it for you. You guys keep watching.
I'll leave for a little while. And all you other letters think you can take over my town. Look at you. None of you's even a vowel. If the people want the money they deserve for their accident,
the E-guarantee.
And as for you other letters, it's time you were erased.
A taste of the Deep South. Be a part of this global movement in Baton Rouge. Downtown, Riverfront Plaza, November 3rd, 5th, and 6th. We have room for sponsors, talent, and vendors. Food, dance, music, culture, and more. Come help us celebrate. htjday.com, htjday.com. You need me.